It's an Eastern Conference matchup, and today's game is the 76ers coming to town for this one. Welcome, everyone, to Milwaukee. Home court advantage for the Bucks. We're at the Bradley Center. This is 2K Sports bringing you the NBA. I'm Kevin Harlan, calling the action with my broadcast partners Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg. Look at the 76ers starting group. They've got Andrew Bynum, Holiday out there with Richardson. Then there's Spencer Hawes, and it's Turner in at the small forward. And for Milwaukee, Ilyasova and Dallenberg are down low. Brandon Jennings and Monte Ellis comprise the backcourt. And it's Mbah a Moute in at the 3.
You know, most great teams are really built around 1 or 2 stars and then some role players surrounding that core. But the Sixers are different. They don't have a superstar. So they've played the last few years with a group of young guys who are athletic, who play together, who defend, and they try to get out and run. So for the most part, it's been pretty successful. But again, so tough to win in this league at a high level without a star.
So it's Philadelphia now. Holiday with it. He dishes it to Hawes. Back to Holiday. Richardson. Offensive rebound. Here's Bynum. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
And the defense fouling there to prevent that layup, forcing 2 free throws here.
A nice job that time of attacking the paint and drawing the contact. They'll take that.
The first free throw is good. And there are a group of teams that have found success, Steve, like that. You know, you can point at teams like, say, Memphis and the Indiana Pacers. Clark, you know them. And certainly, Clark, the 76ers along that same vein.
You know, Kevin, as Steve said, it's hard to win without a star, and you wonder if Philly will eventually shake things up to bring somebody in of that level. But I'm not quite sold on the fact that you can't do it at a high level with really good, cohesive players. And much like the Sixers, Grizzlies, Pacers, those teams have good young players, and I think they can be championship contenders if they keep developing.
Now here is Holiday. Over Jennings. The shot by Holiday, no good. About a minute played so far here in the first. Now we go to Doris Burke, who spoke with Scott Skiles. Doris?
Going into this game and scouting the opposition, he told me he's a huge fan of Drew Holiday, saying, you know, Drew's still a guy with so much potential. You just don't see that many point guards with his kind of frame. 6'4", close to 2 bills, and a great skill set to match. He's a guy you love to watch, but you often hate to go up against. Kevin, we'll see if he can have a big impact in this one.
Thank you, Doris. 76ers on defense. Now here's Turner.
Well, when you think about Evan Turner, you think about the ball handling, the passing, the rebounding. Second overall pick back in 2010. He's really worked at his shot, too. That's been his only weakness as a pro. But that's gotten better, and I think as you watch him develop over the next few years, it will improve dramatically.
And Mbah a Moute kicks to Ellis. 6 to shoot. Fader on the way. Good. The 76ers have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. And for Turner, the good news offensively is he's pretty good finishing close to the basket.
Yeah, his ball handling is tight. He's got a nice rush hour handle to him. He's got a good work ethic. He's a perfectionist, sometimes to a fault, but you like the fact that he cares and wants to be good and wants to win. And his shooting form has been revamped, and he'll continue to get better there. So I think he's going to be really an outstanding pro for a long time.
Jennings can't get it to go. 76ers have gone 2 for 4 from the field so far today. Holiday attacking. Bynum inside. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
Well, there's never been any question about the potential of Andrew Bynum. Got great skills down on the block, can block shots at the defensive end of the floor. The question mark really is his health. He's had to battle knee injuries throughout his career.
Going back to Bynum, even playing Clark less than full strength, he can really impact the game.
Yeah, an effective shot blocker and post defender, Kevin, with excellent touch inside. His size helps him be a huge factor at both ends.
Looking at who's out there now for the Bucks. Drew Gooden has checked in for Dallenberg. Udo comes in for Ilyasova. And it's Dunleavy in for Mbamute.
And Bynum is one of the best centers in the league. His size is really an amazing advantage. He's so big, so long, and he's able to out-muscle people and just shoot right over the top of his opponents.
And, Steve, we know that size alone does not make you a great big man, but it certainly helps if you've got some skills. And he's really shown a desire, even though in fits and starts, to be special. More and more aggressive on offense, and because of that, he's tough to handle on the block.
Shot's good from Young.
You know, he didn't have too much space to get that shot off, but for him, he had enough. Milwaukee made the move to try and get back into the playoffs last season, but ultimately they came up short, in part because they didn't protect their home floor enough.
Now here's Jennings. Still looking to get on the scoreboard. Shot clock at 6. Over Holiday, and the Bucks miss again.
Man, a nice job there defensively, just getting a hand up enough to bother the shot.
He's a bit short for the power forward spot, but his great leaping ability more than makes up for it.
And the replay, of course, presented by Sprite. What a play. Here's Jennings. And Milwaukee calls their first time out of the game. Udrich is checked in for Brandon Jennings. And the 76ers making a change here. Feeds to Dunley. .50 seconds left in the first. Near the three-point line, it's Ellis. Nice jump shot from the top of the key. The 76ers leading by 7. Ivy passes to Turner. Down low. Pulls up. Ivy. Second shot opportunity. Shot's good by Turner. Turner's got his second basket.
He made that offensive rebound count. Nice job collecting the second chance points.
6 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. The feed now to Dunley. Kicks it to Ellis. 5 to shoot. Now the dish to Udrich. From outside, off the mark. Puts up a prayer. No good. And we reach the end of the first. And welcome back. It's been all one-sided so far through the first quarter as our second quarter gets underway. 76ers lead by 9.
Now the key has been the rebounding department. This club dominating the paint area. And if this continues, they'll be in great shape.
Well, they've done two things. They've limited second chances, and they've been able to flex their muscle down low.
So with Ellis sitting on the bench, here's the group that Scott Skiles has on the floor. Ilyasova and Dallenberg are down low. Jennings out there with Udrich, and it's Mbamute in at the small forward.
And you look at Scott Skiles, coach of the Bucks. I'll tell you, everybody knew he was going to coach someday when he was a player because nobody was more prepared and nobody spent more time watching film than Scott Skiles. He always knew he wanted to coach.
From the sideline, let's catch up with Doris Burke.
Thanks, Kevin. Well, you look at Monte Ellis, an aggressive scorer capable of finishing inside. And in his career, he's had to play some long minutes. When he was asked about the physical toll of all that, Ellis said, "I'm good. I'm not worried about it. My body isn't built like most people. I know what it can take, and going to the basket, it can take that all day."
He is something else. Thank you so much, Doris.
And it's pretty incredible at his size that the way he attacks and finishes. I mean, he's about 6'3", maybe 180 lbs, but still able to go inside again and again. Just a tremendous athlete.
Going back to Scott Skiles and his use of film as a player, if you like watching film, the NBA entering a golden age in that regard. I mean, everybody's doing it.
Yeah, it's all broken down and organized. I mean, these days you watch it on a laptop or a tablet. I mean, film study really is something coaches and players use on a daily basis now in the NBA. Well, I was impressed with the Bucks a year ago, guys. The bounce back from a tough 2010-2011 season. Milwaukee fought hard all the way through the end of the regular season and stayed right on that playoff cusp throughout.
Holiday attacking, and the basket good. Holiday's got his first basket.
Well, for him, that finger roll is almost second nature. That's a tough shot for most players.
Jennings dishes to Udo. It's back to Jennings. Now the pass to Udo. He tries for three. The shot is off, so Philadelphia will take it the other way. Even though they didn't get back in the playoffs and Milwaukee again missed, I think the Bucks showed everybody that they mean business by going for it and playing Clark to the bitter end.
Yeah, I agree with that, Kevin. You want to finish strong as best you can, so going for it like they did in a season where there wasn't a lot of hope can inspire a team, and we'll see if that's the case this year.
Now a timeout called by Milwaukee.
You know, as the Sixers have kind of turned things around here recently, you'd have to make a connection between them becoming a better defensive team and also who their leader is on the sideline, and that's Doug Collins, one of the best.
And some changes here for the Bucks. Gooden comes in for Samuel Dallenberg, and it's Udrich in for Brandon Jennings. Philadelphia also making some changes. Lavoy Allen's checked in for Bynum. Young comes in for Spencer Hawes. And Nick Young is subbed in for Jason Richardson. Here's Udrich. Over Holiday. Cans the 12-footer. Back to what you said about the 76ers and their defense. As they've improved in the standings, it has been all about their defense. Steve, I think for the majority of the season, they were allowing the least points a game of any team in the league.
Well, they established an identity, and that's what every team needs to do. You've got to play to your talents. That's what Doug Collins put together there in Philadelphia. They made a lot of steals. They got out in transition, but a tough, quick, defensive-minded team.
Ellis can't get it to go.
He operates pretty well in traffic, guys, but that was a tough play to finish off.
Took him no time at all on that one. Turner's got 6. Bucks trail by 13. Ellis outside. There's the pick. Ellis right side. Here's Udrich. Thaddeus Young grabs the miss. Young's got his 3rd rebound on the night.
What you love about Thaddeus Young out of Georgia Tech is the small ball 4 position that he plays. He's so quick and active that he's a nightmare for opposing power forwards to cover. But he's long enough to defend bigger players at the other end of the floor.
Let's go to our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, what do you have?
Fellas, last season, the first since Scott Skiles took over as head coach in Milwaukee that the Bucks were not in the top half of the league in defensive efficiency. Coach Skiles is looking to turn that back around, and he talked about his defensive philosophy. He said, look, the perimeter players in this league are very gifted with the ball, and almost all of them are great athletes. So you've got to be on. You've got to be competitive and stay in a stance. Your footwork has to be impeccable. What we challenge our guys to do from the first day of camp is guard your guy for 3 dribbles. If you can do that, you'll get the help there. Kevin, sounds simple, not easy to execute.
Well, Coach Skiles always challenges his teams defensively. Thanks, Doris. And Thaddeus Young, great in transition and able to drive and finish at the rim.
Yeah, I really like his improvement and how he's developed as a player. He's tough for most big men to stay in front of. He's got the nice left-handed stroke, which I think keeps guys off balance a bit. And he really brings high energy and scoring punch off the bench.
Bucks trail by 12. The open shot, Ellis. And again, it's Milwaukee converting.
Still trailing, but their offense is off life support here in the second quarter. It's got a pulse.
Yeah, they're making some shots now, Clark, finally starting to make up some ground.
Now here's Turner. He has 6. Tries from 16. Rebounded by the Bucks. Now Udrih over Holiday, and it's blocked by Holiday. And the first half is now in the books. 76ers ahead, leading by 10. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be back in just a moment.
Now, presented by Sprint.
Welcome to a Thursday edition of the Halftime Report. For the Philadelphia 76ers, they have the lead against Milwaukee. They've gotten a tremendous boost from their reserves, going to them early in the game for production. Nick Young has been productive. He's given them a huge contribution off the bench. What a bonus when you have a role player step up like this. And the Bucks still in it, going all out. They're losing the battle on the boards. It starts with wanting to rebound. That's been a problem. Brandon Jennings hasn't made much of an impact so far. His shot has been AWOL lately. Still on the run in this one. And that's it for now. Thanks for stopping in with us. It's time to head back to Kevin Harlan, Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke, who are all ready with the call in the second half.
The second half just about to get going here. You have to like what we're seeing from Andrew Bynum.
Normally, he's not the guy at the top of the list who you'd think of when it comes to scoring, but he's had a great game here.
Yeah, you know what? He's kind of like found money, when you sometimes stumble upon a few bucks in your pocket, you don't know where it came from, but you're glad to have it.
Getting underway in the second half. Here's the 5 for Doug Collins. Holiday out there with Richardson. Then there's Andrew Bynum. Then it's Evan Turner, and it's Hawes in at the power forward.
Philadelphia, by virtue of playing a number of games at home early in the season, really started hot last year, but then faded down the Eastern Conference ladder as the season wore on. A part of that was their difficulty in winning games on the road.
You mentioned it, Clark. 76ers road play. They finished 16-17 there, which isn't bad, but it kept them down probably at that 8th seed in the Eastern Conference. And, Steve, a few more wins, it would have changed a lot for them.
Well, as it was, though, it turned into a pretty good draw because they were actually able to play Chicago in the first round after Rose got injured. They won that round, took Boston to 7. So that 8th seed actually was kind of a charm for them.
When you've got the kind of speed the Bucks have in their backcourt, you really want to try to push the tempo a bit, and they did just that with Monte Ellis and Brandon Jennings. They were second in the league in field goal attempts.
And Holiday kicks to Richardson. They get the rebound. The shot's good from Bynum. Bynum's got 10 points.
Well, not only does he excel at getting those offensive rebounds, but he's really good getting putbacks and layups off of those boards.
He feeds it to Mbah a Moute. Passes it to Ellis. Steps back and shoots. And that one's good. He's got 9. Well, for the Bucks, the problem had always been finding points. Now playing a little quicker with those two speed merchants in the backcourt, attacking more, and they seem to have found, I think, Steve, a little bit of balance.
Well, they've always been a defensive-minded team under Scott Skiles, Kevin, so I think they're looking for that balance. They're looking for that offensive firepower. They've got that quick backcourt you mentioned with Brandon Jennings and Monte Ellis. But can they combine the offense and the defense and make this into a playoff caliber team?
Here's Holiday. It's Richardson on the wing. Shoots the 3. That is good. Richardson's got his first 3 points of the game.
Second half is flowing nicely so far on offense. 75% from the field is what they're shooting.
Now a timeout called by Milwaukee.
The 76ers were the 8th seed in the playoffs, and even though they upset the Bulls in the first round, it wasn't really considered a shocker as the Bulls were playing without Derrick Rose.
And some changes here for the Bucks. Drew Gooden has checked in for Dallenberg. And it's Dunleavy in for Mbah a Moute. Philadelphia on D. Jennings off a pick from Ellis. Gooden, defended by Allen. Tries from 16. Cannot hit. Now the 76ers take it the other way. But not to take anything away from the 76ers. They earned that win and showed they can make some noise in the playoffs. And you saw the kind of trouble they gave Boston in that second round.
Yeah, that series went 7 games. So, that victory over Chicago was no fluke. The Sixers were a tough out. Great defensive team, quick, young, athletic. And they've got a bright future, guys.
Ellis, the pass to Jennings. And again, the Bucks miss.
They have really been a group of glass eaters out there today, fellas. I mean, just devouring any and all rebounds.
And I think that's the difference in the game right now. A double-digit lead in that category.
Bucks trail by 12. On the wing, Ellis. The shot's good. Jennings making the play. And that's 11 points for Ellis.
Well, with Brandon Jennings, we've seen steady improvement in terms of his shooting percentage during the course of his career. He came in as just a jump shooter, but now he's really finishing around the rim and showing better shot selection as well.
Udo's checked in for Milwaukee. And Bahamute comes in for Monte Ellis. The 76ers making a switch here. .158 left in the third. And for Jennings, as we talked about him offensively, a quick, explosive guard. He can't create his shot. Clark pretty easy.
Yeah, I think he could be comfortably a 20-point per game scorer in this league, Kevin. The issue with him is just to continue to grow and be an efficient, to make the game easier for himself, to know how to harness and unleash his terrific speed. That's where he's going to make his next step of growth. Another open look hits bottom from outside.
Yeah, and that's 3 of their last 5 makes from beyond the arc.
Dunleavy dishes to Jennings. Leads him in there. Taken away by Holiday. Young left side. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
Nick Young came out of USC as an athletic 6'7" wing who could really shoot the ball, and that's his role. He's a kind of an explosive offensive weapon. You may not want him out there 40 minutes because he's going to take some bad shots, but he can really shoot you into a game.
And, fellas, when you take a look at Nick Young, he's got that jump shot down pat. I mean, that thing is working on automatic. But it's the other areas, defending, passing, rebounding, that he's got to improve on. He's got room to grow there. I think he's pretty good off the dribble. But those other areas, if he can get those up to par, then he could be a top-flight shooting guard. The Bucks know they have sufficient talent, and were right in the mix of it last year. Ended up making a playoff push, but came up 4 games short of securing that 8th seed. And had things gone a little differently, particularly on the road, they might have been able to get it done.
Good.
Great move to get to the bucket and lay that one in. He's got the softest touch around the basket. Impressive.
Clark, you look back at the Bucks season, they were injured and they were missing players, and had they been healthy, there is a pretty good chance they would have been a playoff team in the Eastern Conference.
That's right.
Steve?
Well, you know how that goes. I mean, health is a factor every year, and sometimes the breaks go your way, sometimes they don't. But I think it's going to be important for Milwaukee this season. I mean, they don't have a huge margin for error, so they've got to stay healthy if they're going to get back to the playoffs.
The 76ers shooting their 7th attempt at the foul line in this one.
Well, and they were 74% free throw shooting as a team last year, so those numbers could come up.
And those aren't the kind of numbers they can afford to repeat throughout this season.
Brandon Jennings, he's checked in for Udrich. Bucks trail by 15. Amute, a screen on Holiday. Jennings kicks to Ellis. Over Holiday, and that one's good. Ellis has got 7 points here in this quarter.
Well, they found the touch here in the second half from the field, and everything else we talk about, folks, rebounding, defense, all of that, this game is still about making shots. You got to put the ball in the basket. That's the bottom line, and they found a way to do it here in the second half.
There's 25 seconds left to play here in the third. Inside, Mbah a Moute. Good, and the assist goes to Ellis.
Boy, they are really getting chewed up inside here. I mean, that's 8 of the last 10 points they've given up inside, in the paint.
Yeah, and the paint should be sacred ground for a defense. I mean, you can't let anybody just trot in there and get an easy bucket.
Here's Jennings. 1 second left. And as we end the third quarter, a double-digit deficit will make it tough to come back. 76ers lead by 13. And when we return... Welcome back as we get ready to start the fourth quarter. Who's had the Sprite uncontainable game in this one? Well, let's send it out to our Doris Burke. Doris?
Thanks, Kevin. Nick Young gets the Uncontainable Game Award tonight. Well, it's been a one-sided show in this one, but a lot of it has to do with the contributions he's given them off the bench. Really a big part of how they've built this lead.
Thanks, Doris. And you love to see that kind of effort from your starters. And here we've seen that same sort of lift, guys, from the bench.
Yeah, man, I thought he was really a catalyst for them, Kevin. He got them going right away when he got in.
Instant energy is what he gave them, Steve, and you're exactly right. I thought he was their spark plug. The more performances like this that he continues to have, then obviously his minutes are going to increase as well.
Bucks trail by 13. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the fourth quarter. On the court for the Bucks, Brandon Jennings and Monte Ellis comprise the backcourt. Udo out there with Dunleavy, and it's Gooden in at the 5 down low. Ellis can't get it to go, and it's Gooden with the jam.
Simply said, a tremendous rebound and a tremendous dunk.
He was a man possessed right there, Clark.
Yep.
That's the kind of energy that you always get from him night after night.
A different look for Milwaukee. D'Alembert comes in for Drew Gooden, and Mbamute comes in for Udo. Holiday against Jennings. Pass to Ellis. Dishes to Dunley. And the call will be against Jason Richardson. That's his first foul. And the Bucks making a change here. Ilyasova's checked in. And the 76ers also making a change. Thaddeus Young. He's checked in for Jason Richardson. There's Jennings with the 3. And that one's good.
Well, he did a nice job of getting himself into just enough of an open area to find that spot for his shot.
And Holiday kicks to Bynum. Young back to Bynum. Some nice ball movement here by the 76ers. D'Alembert's there. Pocket 6. Bynum the pass to Hawes. The 76ers need to get off a shot. And Holiday with the basket on the assist from Hawes. And it's 6 points for Drew Holiday.
He got that one, but he hasn't been producing the way we're accustomed to. He needs to look for a shot a bit more.
Now a timeout called by Milwaukee.
You remember the start that the 76ers got off to a year ago, scorching hot. But when Spencer Hawes, when he hurt his Achilles, it really slowed the Sixers down, and they ended up fading really at the end of the year.
Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
Yes, exactly, Kevin. I got a chance to hear what Scott Skiles said to his team. He told them, guys, we're getting bogged down in the half court. Let's get out and run, see what's available in early offense. If there's nothing there, we can always back it out and run our sets. Good advice, Kevin.
Now here's Jennings. Back to Ellis. And the call will be against Jason Richardson. That's foul number 2 for him. And you know, talking about Hawes, always a skilled shooter, he has shown a renewed willingness now to go inside and get physical.
Kevin, I like the fact his rebounding numbers have improved. I think he's going to continue to be a very good weapon as a pick and pop big man. But that work on the glass, that's going to be critical for him and his team going forward.
Now here is Holiday, following the miss by Monte Ellis. Holiday against Jennings. Here's Turner. Yes, and it's Holiday with the assist that time. And it's a 12-point 76ers lead. And here is Ellis. Ellis off a pick from Dallenberg. He kicks it to Dunley. Back to Ellis. Ellis left side. Over Richardson. But he stays with it. Ellis can't get it to go.
Big lead on the boards usually equals a big lead in the game. This team is on cruise control.
Well, the rebounding differential is double digits already, so this is a team that just looks bigger and tougher than the opponent. Now, the offensive efficiency has been really important. I think that's been the difference.
Well, you know, I think it's pretty simplistic, but it does oftentimes come down to this, making shots, and that's what they've done. I tell you what, the way he's been going this quarter, guys, they're going to need somebody else to pick up the slack.
Richardson against Ellis. Here's Hawes. Rebound by Ilyasova. Bucks trail by 14. The drive by Jennings over Holiday. And again, the Bucks miss.
He can't find anything out there, and his misses are really hurting this team.
Bynum inside. Yes, and it's Holiday with the assist that time. Holiday's got his 7th assist of the game with that last one. He dishes it to Dunley to end the run. It's hauled in by the 76ers. Hawes got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. And Holiday, here we go. It's stolen by Dunleavy. Here's Ellis. And yes, sir, that one drops.
Love the finish there. Not much defense, though.
And the 76ers call time here. They're up by 14. 1:10 left in the 4th quarter. And Baamute's checked in for Milwaukee. Jennings against Holiday. Shoots over Jennings. The 76ers again can't hit it.
Well, I guess they can get them when they need them. That's a good job of getting to the miss.
Ellis nails it from the high post.
He's been hot for most of this game, and if he keeps it up, his team could turn things around.
76ers have gotten 4 of their 6 shots to fall so far here in the 4th. A pretty nice efficiency there. Now here is Holiday. Puts the lead pass in front of him. It's rebounded by Ilyasova. The Bucks shooting a pedestrian 36% in the 4th quarter. The offense not doing their best work of late. And Baamute can't get it to go.
He still couldn't finish, even though it looked like he had a lane to the rim. But too often, that's the story for him. That's not an opportunity he fails to convert very often. Yeah, it looks like this one's out of reach.
Yep, just a matter of the clock running out now.
Jennings dishes to Mbamute. Ellis goes in. There's the bucket. Good. They got on this roll a while ago, and they just haven't looked back. And here's Richardson. He passes to Holiday. So it's the 76ers winning this one easily. They put on a show tonight, thoroughly controlling each end of the floor.
Hey, what more can you add?
Thank you for joining us for this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports. For Clark, Stephen Doris, and the rest of the crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Last but not least, here is your Jordan Player of the Game, Drew Holiday.